Go.
Okay, so we're talking about the ICF 11 core competencies, and today we're focusing on trust. So we're going to cover what is ICF position and perspective about that competency, and I want to start by asking you, when you think of building trust with somebody, what do you think of? Like, you are now meeting some of your clients for the first time, you don't know them, they don't know you, and you need to build trust. So what come up for you in terms of what do you do to build trust with a new client that you don't know? What do you think will be your strategy? Who would like to share? Yeah.
I would definitely have a lot of eye contact. I would reaffirm that this is that the conversation is confidential. I would be present and watch my own thoughts in terms about judging them.
Okay, so then you're bringing very important elements. One here is about body language. Being present to our body language, like eye contact, how we're going to relate, are we going to be open, embracing, or are we going to be distant? So being aware of our body will make a difference about how we start building the relationship and building trust. The second element is very important, and it's about confidentiality, and that's part of the coaching agreement. So there is a relationship between building trust and the coaching agreement, because to the extent that you can be clear about what is coaching, how it works, how we're going to be relating to each other, how we're going to keep confidentiality, how we're going to be on time, everything that we need to people know, and in the way that we're going to be working together will make a difference. So here, confidentiality and the coaching agreement and having a clear agreement, showing understanding, these are ways that we build trust. Very important ways. What else would you think? When you're building trust, people don't know you, what else would you do? Yeah, Michael.
I would say just building a show that you are listening well without an agenda, that your agenda is to hear them, and that you're not trying to overlay any of your thoughts upon them, but you want to genuinely work towards their problem. So it's about them rather than about you.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and it related to what Gina was saying before about being aware of your judgment and not bringing your agenda to the session, but showing understanding. So when we're working with somebody and we feel the person is understanding us, that's one important way to build trust. So that's the reason why when you have a coaching conversation, you start building trust since the beginning, since you start the conversation. And this is the reason why we talked about the coaching agreement last time, and there is a relationship here, because during the coaching agreement is when you start building the trust. And you build trust by showing that you are understanding, by active listening, by asking questions, by showing interest. So according to the International Coach Federation, there are 3 key elements of building trust that you want to pay attention when you are working as a coach. One element is showing respect. Showing respect, and there are many different ways to show respect, but one way is by not judging, by not interrupting, by showing interest. The second key element, so the first key element for you to pay attention to in building trust is showing respect. The second one is about how we support our clients, showing support. So by showing understanding and by making comments that we're there for them, we can help them to feel supported. When we show that support, people feel that they can trust us. And the third element, so we say the first element of building trust is being sure that there is respect. The second one is about being supportive. And the third element, according to the ICF model, when you are building trust, you want to be curious. You want to be interested. We talked about that last time. We want to encourage our clients to share themselves. So another way to build trust is by being curious, by being interested, by showing we care, by showing our listening skills, we build trust. Now, trust may be supported by other elements. What else do you think can be in the context to provide some trust in the person? Think about also in this program, not only you are getting new clients as a coach, but you are also getting a coach. So think about now from the other perspective, from the perspective of a client. You're a client, you have a new coach. What I have heard before some people talking about your experience with your coach, what your coach has done that you feel you can trust him or her. Who would like to share that from that perspective? Yeah, Vicky.
Yeah, creating an opening to explore some different perspectives on the same thing. So I had a really great conversation with my mentor, coach, about that issue that sort of comes up for me around what's the difference between therapy and coaching, and sort of really teasing that out together in a way that was mutually respectful. So feeling enough safety to say, well, I'm not sure I really agree with this, or this is what I thought I heard in class, but what you're saying sounds really different, and sort of allowing us to go deep with that.
So here there is an issue of safety. You're saying that when you build trust, you feel safe to open up and express yourself. And this is one of the key indicators. When you're in a relationship and you feel safe, you can open up, you can be vulnerable. Because to be vulnerable and to open up, you need to feel safe. And you feel safe if you feel the person cares about you, or is showing you through body language, through the coaching agreement, through understanding, paraphrasing, or asking questions that they care about you. So these are key elements of building trust. Now, building trust in the context can be also supported by external elements. For example, some of you ask me, do you recommend me this coach? So this coach was recommended by somebody that you trust. So sometimes if you trust me and I am recommending a coach, you may trust that coach because was referred by somebody that you already trust. Or when you came to this program, somebody recommended you the program and said something about the program or about me, and because you trust that person, you also trusted me in working with you. Can you see how external elements may work, make a difference in building the relationship? What else do you think can help building trust? Yeah.
For me, it was like following through with what you say you're going to do. So for instance, my coach said, I'm going to send you the coaching agreement by the end of the week. And she did exactly that. Or when she said at the start of a session, we're going to revisit that at the end. And she did come back to it. So just whatever she said she was going to do, she actually did it consistently. That made me feel like I could trust her.
That's a great element. And by the way, there is some research done in terms of leadership. And they say that one of the key elements of building trust and credibility is integrity. That integrity, that consistency between what we say and what we do. So as coaches, we want to do exactly that. We want to be on time. We want to do whatever we promise to do, because that is also the fastest way to lose trust. When you are not consistent between what you say and what you do. When you are late, or you're not on time, or you don't do whatever you say you're going to do, that is the easiest and fastest way to lose that trust. And the studies talk about leadership, say that the way that leaders lose the credibility the fastest is when they don't have that integrity, that consistency between what they say and what you do. Yeah.
I also think that building trust comes with results.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, I was struggling in communicating with my supervisor, and through my coaching sessions, I became noticing that I was improving that. I didn't feel the same way I used to feel when I was having conversation with my boss. It was different. It was more relaxed. I feel better. I feel more confident, and that came out because the sessions with my coach. So I think I saw results, and I trust her. And I like her and I love her.
Okay, that's good to hear. Yes, you will fall in love with your coaches and with your clients. And related to that, I think what is important is that in the relationship with your coach, you were able to see new things, and then you took it to your own experience and you saw the results as a client. So that experience will help you as a coach to see how you can apply some of that. And there are 3 different kinds of trust. I want you to pay attention, and that's important because as coaches, we need to pay attention to 3 different levels of trust. There is trust with ourselves, how we trust our ability to work with our clients. Then there is trust with the client that is whole and resourceful, and the client can do whatever work they need to do. And then the more difficult trust to understand is trust the process. So what trust the process means? Trust the process means we don't know what will happen in the coaching session, but we know coaching works. We know coaching makes a difference because we have experience coaching as clients, because we have worked with other clients and they got the results. So we know we are going to provide a space for reflection, for learning, and the clients are going to get value no matter what. We don't know where we're going to go. There is not a scripted session when we work with our client, but we believe in the inherited value of coaching. So I wanted to do a brief summary of what we talked here today before we move on to a video that I want to show you about trust. So far we talked about trust and the importance in building the relationship with the client, and we talked about 3 key elements in building trust. We talked about the importance of working with our clients, showing respect. The second element was about how we provide support, and the third is about encouragement. So when we think about trust, think about these 3 areas: how we are respectful, how we are supportive, and how we are encouraging for the client to speak and share their perspectives. And when we talk about trust, there are 3 different levels of trust. Trusting ourselves, we're doing our best, we are not expecting perfection, particularly now in the beginning, we're doing our best. There is a lot to learn and a lot of mistakes to do and a lot of feedback to receive from your mentor coaches. Trusting the client, they are whole and resourceful. They can do the work that they need to do. They may be at different stages, and they may be at different levels of awareness. There are people who are more aware than others. Wherever they are, they have the skills, the knowledge. We are not trying to fix them. We're working wherever they are. And the last one is trusting the process. We know coaching works. We don't know what will happen, but we know that there is value in the process. And remember that sometimes the insight doesn't happen in the session, but after the session. So maybe in the session, in the conversation we're having, the client may not get an insight or a new perspective, but that will come up the following day when the client is thinking about something that happened during the session. So there is a lot of work that happened, not during the session, but between sessions, that we want to pay attention to. So any questions before we go to the video? No? Okay, so let's move on now to that part.